15 fast boats, 1 U.S. cruise ship, 3 nautical miles and closing. This wasn't petty theft. It was a combat raid with RPG-7s, AK-103s, and M60s, and the order was simple. Take everything, leave no one alive. So how do you protect 377 civilians against 180 pirates without turning the deck into a kill zone? In this episode, we break down the first 5 minutes, the decision tree that saved lives, and the moment the Navy flipped from rescue to high-intensity warfighting. Stay and see how the MH-60R attends and seals stitched a kill box without hitting a single lifeboat. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. They closed 3 nautical miles in minutes. Why did a cruise deck suddenly look like a forward operating base under siege? Because the first sight line wasn't a lone skiff. It was a formation. 15 fast boats, engines high, wakes braided tight. 180 fighters with RPG-7s and belt-fed guns, rolling into a crowded lane where a single hit on the wrong spot turns a leisure ship into a steel coffin.
A pirate boat tries to board the vessel, and that's the response from the private security on board. The first one fails,
Where's he at? Where's he at?
but there's a second pirate boat.
He's all the way out! All the way out!
It perhaps wisely decides to disengage.
The aim was total control, not a smash and grab. Lifeboats hung broadside. Fuel lines ran beneath casual footfall. One stray rocket into a davit, and rescue turns to triage. They advanced in staggered lanes, outer boats raking the rails with long bursts, inner boats screening ladders and shield carriers. Suppression first, boarding second, consolidation third. You don't need finesse when your plan is saturation and shock. The ship fought the water and the geometry. High freeboard slowed ladders but left anyone near the rails exposed to grazing fire. Hard cover was scarce. Glass and open deck meant splash from a shape charge could cut the bridge crew even if the rocket missed by a few feet. Crowds bunched at the wrong angles, pulled by instinct, not doctrine. So the call at the top was brutal and fast. Hold fire to keep ricochet down, or hit back early to break momentum. You can't do both. What would you do? Deny the rails with shields and foam to block ladders, or lock the stairwells to keep any boarders from spreading? Comment your choice below. Meanwhile, the U.S. clock started. Checklists snapped at Mayport. MH-60RS spun up for guns and overwatch. P-8 built the sensor picture, marking boats and arcs. A-10s shifted to maritime CS, a rare card, but the effect was simple, wide, slow, lethal. Rotors beat the gap. SEALs fast roped to the upper decks, split into 2-and-2 clearance teams, cut access to the engine room, and used short, surgical shots to break a hostage snatch near a stairwell. The tree held. 29 hostages out. 4 wounded lifted, lifeboats intact, and 1 pirate radio still hot, naming coordinates near the Venezuelan coast as a rally point, turning a rescue into the start line for an offensive. The coordinates weren't a dead end. They were a map to a fortress with cash, cocaine, and launch boats. So what turns a rescue into a fortress takedown? You see the network, not the skiffs. You hit the source, not the symptom. Intel tied the assault crew to a wider web feeding off drug money and regional arms hubs, anchored near La Guaira. Boats, fuel, radios, cash. All inside a coastal stronghold ringed by locals and traffic. Hit wrong, you make martyrs and enemies. Hit soft, you teach them you'll blink. That's the tightrope. A busy coast, cameras rolling, states watching. Miss and the network hardens. Overreach and the map lights up with anger. So the task force built a clean stack. MH-60 are held overwatch and blocked movement. A P-8 drew the grid and tagged aim points. An MV-22 dropped Marines west of the compound to push in on foot. 5 A-10s orbited for standoff strafes and 500-pound precision drops, ready to cut roads and boats the second they moved. Effects first, not noise. Watchtowers and convoy nodes went down to blind the sight and freeze movement. Then fuel bladders and ammo sheds to kill tempo. Barracks last. Time to crack cohesion when the Marines hit the line. That order kept the boats from sprinting to sea. The assault lane was a straight, hard push. Marines came in at the jungle edge, bound by teams, and worked to breach points while A-10s stitched on-call fire just ahead. They seized rooms and stores for intel instead of leveling them, staying inside strict ROE to avoid homes and crowded streets. This wasn't chase and board. It was conventional firepower on a hardened enclave, air and ground fused, not a patrol rolling dice on open water. By the end, dozens were dead or in flex cuffs. Rifles, RPGs, and stacks of contraband sat on the deck. The kill box held. Escape cut. Nodes gone. And the lesson was speed, Navy lift, Marines on the ground, A-10s on tap, all without a single lifeboat loss. Ocean Serenity turned for home under escort. The coast didn't sleep. Drones rose. Patrol ships fanned out. Deterrence began to talk. Piracy scaled up into combined arms crime met a joint force answer. That's how you protect civilians without turning them into crossfire. Rear Admiral McAdams said, "The ocean was quiet until we made it speak. That line marks intent. Deter, disrupt, deny. If you want the tactical mindset that wins these fights, subscribe now and tell me, deny the rails first or lock the stairwells. Comment your choice below." The next layer is ISR. Drones, sensors, patrol nets that queue faster than skiffs can sprint. The Caribbean looked safe until it wasn't. Next time, we map the sensor web that spots the boats before they break 3 miles.